This episode of Nuff Said is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hey Nuff Said fans, Phil Perich here. You're obviously fans of Marvel Comics and their characters, so make sure you check out the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast for weekly reviews of classic and new Marvel Comics, including our Quantum Zone covering all things Quasar and the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe, Comic Capers for all things classic and new in the world of comics, and brand new starting in 2019, our Ultimate Spider-Cast podcast discussing all things Spider-Man. So remember, you can find all this Marvel goodness and more on the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast. Nuff said.
And what about our Superconnectivity podcast? And what about that Superconnectivity podcast? Do you listen to that show? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes. Hey, guess what this show is? It's Superconnectivity. Hi, heroes. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is that carrot-topped blonde, strawberry blonde? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, He's a little gingery. He's got blue eyes.
I've ginger in my family. Phil, me, and Perich.
There we go. Phil the Ginger. Welcome, Philip, to the wonderful world of Superconnectivity. This week, there's not a lot of Marvel news this week, but there is a lot of stuff that came out for DC. There was a little film about fishes. I think they remade The Incredible Mr. Limpet, but you'll have to see it.
Fish Boy!
Fish Boy, yes. Fish Man, thank you. Actually, this was a film that I really felt if there ever was a time that they should have... Actually, you know what? I think Incredible Mr. Limpet is owned by Disney. Now that I think about it, it's like that's why they couldn't have The Incredible Mr. Limpet in here. This is a film that The Incredible Mr. Limpet might have made just 1,000 times better. But isn't that every film? Okay. We're going to talk about Aquaman tomorrow.
Yes.
On Capes and Lunatics.
Capes and Lunatics 84, yes.
Yes. How appropriate. It seems like It seems like he was born in the 80s, right? He's a millennial.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we'll get more into this on that episode. But yeah, I think they said he was born in 85, and I'm just like, doesn't that like date your movie? And later on, this is going to date your movie. Wouldn't you just say 33 years, 33 years ago, and then do present day instead of putting dates on it?
I think the fact that the Earth isn't underwater due to global warming kind of dates it. So.
True.
Yeah, it's like, all this is going to be underwater again eventually. And the entire idea of an undersea kingdom is going to be like, oh yeah, one of those. But no,
Atlantis' kingdom grows.
Yes. Da-da-da! See, they were complaining about all that pollution, but now look at how much their real estate is going up.
Trump's working with King Orm.
Yes, there we go. Gonna make Atlantis great again. Okay, but what I will say about that film, not to talk too much about it, I do feel that DC has found its funny bone in many ways. I think that there's a lot of qualities of this film that shows that they can be lighthearted and fun. And I think that if there's one thing I can definitely say about this film is that it seems like to be that transitional film between what was and what maybe will be, because I kind of feel like DC is trying to move into this thing where they said, oh, wait a minute, superheroes are fun. And not for nothing, this is the truth of DC superheroes. I mean, oftentimes they do have very traditional superheroic arcs and storylines, which means that, yeah, you kind of are leaning heavily on the visual and the fun and the joy of being a superhero. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not every film has to be this, oh, it's such a great film and it makes you think as well as applaud. It's like, no, some films shouldn't make you think. Because you know what? A lot of people think a lot, and sometimes you want to not think quite as much. I know I do. And I went to this film with that idea, and I was watching the new Doom Patrol teaser, which is their Christmas teaser, which Now, this I loved because it was fun, and we got to see our new cyborg. Because apparently one cyborg isn't enough for one team. And I love to see this cyborg actor looks great. Even with the plastic stuck to his head. I can live with the plastic stuck to your head. And so I'm good with that.
It's just very weird because I think that in that DC universe and those TV shows, they want Cyborg to be the bridge between all these shows. I think eventually, like your Claire Temples or your Misty Knights, but it's very weird because in the comics, Cyborg first appeared in Titan, New Teen Titans. That's where most of his history's from. Let me put it this way. What if they put Ben Grimm in the Avengers movies and then they had him in an X-Men TV show, but live action, they never put him in Fantastic Four? Would that seem kind of weird?
Well, yeah, that would definitely seem weird because of course he's part of the Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
But then again, there might be people say, well, why is Beast Boy not in the Doom Patrol? Mm-hmm. Just flip that script right back on you.
Episode 4 of Titans, which was Doom Patrol, when they had him in that episode, they had him with the Doom Patrol, but then at the end they're like, no, you have to go. You have to find your way or whatever. But yeah.
But I guess what my point is that he was a member of the Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be the bridge. And I think we're going to get that Beast Boy Cyborg dynamic. And I think we're going to see in the DC Extended Universe or the DCU app is going to be the Beast Boy Cyborg road trip around this newly created DC universe.
Mm.
Because now they're going to have this thing, so we automatically have this reason for Garfield to come back to the Patrol, and then he's going to meet Cyborg, and then they're going to be like, yeah, Cyborg, Beast Boy, we're best friends, meatball party.
That's too light for live action DC. Come on.
No, well, you know what? I think that's the lesson they're learning is that they don't have to be, or maybe, and I think this is what maybe it is that they know that depression follows characters regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you are an outsider and, somehow not in humanity. You don't have to make the rest of that doesn't have to be your arc. It's actually about how someone who is an outsider makes themselves happy within the reality they have. And if there's one thing that you can say about Spider-Man is that he's a guy who he is out of everything, Before he gets his powers, he's a picked-on nerd. After he gets his powers, he's a picked-on vigilante. And he never catches a break, and things don't always go his way. But his stories are great because he has troubles, but he doesn't let it get him down. And he works his way through his troubles, and as a person, we enjoy that because we're working through our struggles as well. And I think that's the thing. And I think this is sort of the thing, when we look at something like Gotham. Now, Gotham is not a light, airy show. It is a crazy show, though. And I think we can all agree it is a fun show.
Yeah.
Gotham is nonstop fun.
But I mean, Gotham really isn't made to be like a humorous show at any. Because it's Batman's Dark World, but two, it's like, where's the borderline between you try to get like a jokey Gotham? How far are you getting from Batman 66?
Well, yeah. Well, but you know what? I think I think they thread that needle. I think Gotham.
It's like the dark humor. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the dark humor, but it's the craziness, and I think that's maybe what it is that you have to be willing to embrace. Not so much the either the humor or the darkness, but the craziness of a world in which, guess what? People have superpowers now. Just so you know, they Skrull cows on the loose, so watch for that. But yeah, but this is where I think this is what DC is going to try to steer into. And I kind of feel like, and again, not watching the series, I kind of feel like this is what Titans was meant to be. Titans is meant to be the transition from the old DC to what they want to be. And I think Doom Patrol is going to be their next, which I think is their next item up for bid.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to show the transition. Because not for nothing, I watched the trailer for the Titans season finale. And two things I noticed. One, no Robin costume.
Oh, no, it burned, buddy.
Okay, well, yeah. But you get, see, this is my theory. He's just Dick Grayson. No costumes, no capes.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I mean, I think we're on the way to Nightwing because it's like they build it as like this big Robin versus Batman battle, but it's like at the end of the last episode, he went in to confront. Well, no one else could get in, but he went in to save Rachel from Trigon. So I think the whole thing is like going on in his head or something. Trigon's messing with his head. So
I mean, well, that'd be disappointing because from the trailer, no, it would be because from the trailer. And again, I only know this stuff from the trailers, but we got Jason Todd in his wheelchair. That was Jason Todd.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Because I did read an article because they said, it is kind of like a thing in his head because he sees like a dark world, almost like Killing Joke, where instead of Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd gets shot and put in the wheelchair. And but then I guess in this whole big hallucination, like the Joker does kill Gordon, in this Killing Joke style story. So then, like, I guess Batman goes in and like just like start killing Joker and like a bunch of the other guys in the asylum. So and from the trailer, you see the guy with green hair push through the car window. You see the person with the question mark tattoo in the body bag. And honestly, see, now that disappoints me if it's all in his head because that's such a cop out. That's such a cop-out. And I kind of want... I mean, what my theory still holds in the idea that they want to make this transition from... And like I said, blowing up Wayne Manor is pretty much the epitome of saying, we're not doing this anymore. We're not... Not everything is going to be the Dark Knight. Now, that doesn't mean that we get rid of the Dark Knight, we get rid of Batman. He is one of the most popular characters in the universe, for goodness sakes. I think they're kind of going the way you're talking. It's like they're going to try to lighten it up a little bit, and I think they're trying to build him up in the Nightwing just because I think they're going to say, like I said, I haven't seen the last episode yet, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to be like, he's going to be like, okay, I need this other identity, but I'm not Batman. I'm not that dark and gritty and stuff, but
it works if they spell Knight with a K.
Yeah, but with Batman being the Dark Knight with a K,
well, that's the idea. That's why he's Nightwing. I don't know, Philip. I would rather he just be a cop.
I think it's just them saying,
like Policeman, Spider-Man.
He's to be a hero, but he's gonna break ties with Batman and be like, I could be the later guy. But meanwhile, guess what? If these people need Batman ever taken down, who are they going to? They're not going to go to Superman. They're coming to me because I know him.
No, they'd go to Superman. Let's be clear. It's like, no, if Batman really needed to be taken down and you could convince Superman to take Batman down, it was like, okay, I'll just...
but I mean, I guess they have to do this, but they kind of like dumb Superman down when they do Batman-Superman fights so Batman can, get in his shot. So, I mean, in that context, it's like, okay, well, Dick Grayson knows how he thinks and, he was with him day in and day out for how many years.
No, generally speaking, when they have Batman v Superman fights, it's always, okay, Batman, I've tied my hands behind my back. I'm going to count. You get the first 4 shots for free. And, it's like when you fight your older brother. It's like, okay, you get 2 shots for free.
And I mean, it's like in most modern interpretations, Batman never trusted Superman from the beginning. I mean, Dick Grayson's the one who can figuratively come up behind him and stab him in the back and be like, you didn't see that coming.
Oh, well, except that with the way they do Batman nowadays, no, he did. He's always assuming...
Yeah, he doesn't trust anybody, Yeah,
he's basically Rorschach now with more money. Basically. That is what they have turned Batman into Rorschach with money. It's like, it's sad, really. Although, speaking of Rorschach, this week's Thor, you see that Thor does the whole... You think I'm locked in here with you? You're locked in here with me, lying to the angels in the prison.
Yes.
I like that. I mean, that was a fun book. This week's Thor. Although I don't know. Sometimes these books get a little too Deus Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, of course you've been beaten and thing, but now that I know everything, haha, I call forth the hammer and my goat and my dog beat you all up. It's like, okay.
I love the Thor stuff with Jane Foster.
Thor is awesome. Thor is the Christopher Nard of the first half of the 21st century.
I will kill the rain.
Yes, we will murder it. Thor is great. I love Thor. Everyone loves Thor. There's not a person in the world. I'm waiting for them. Trust me, they're working at it. How can we get Thor into the MCU? Come on, there's gotta be a way. We gotta force this little thing in here. But
oh my god, if Thor shows up in Endgame and be like, stupid Thunder God should have went for the head.
Yes. Thor will murder you, Thanos. You killed half of Thor's brothers, but there's still half as many left. That's the thing. It's like he only killed half the murderers. There's still a lot of murderers out there, It's
it was like a random thing. It's like,
well, that's what he says. Like I say, I don't think it was random because I don't think Nebula would have made the cut. I don't if it was random.
Well, again, if it wasn't random, wouldn't he have taken out Nebula? So maybe that's saying it was random, or else he wouldn't.
No, because because apparently he actually does love his daughters.
Yeah,
he's a cruel and abusive father.
Well,
but that doesn't mean
at least Gamora he loved. He was torturing Nebula.
Arguably, he would have tortured Gamora too.
Yeah,
I mean, arguably, it was just that Gamora always won. Because Nebula had too much compassion, I guess, or Nebula just didn't want to win as bad, and he wanted to teach Nebula to win, and Nebula was like, "No, Dad, I just want to play with my ponies, my pretty Pegasi." Have they introduced pretty Pegasi into the Titans mythos yet?
I don't think.
Okay, that'll be for season 2. You're gonna get. You gotta trust me. If my theories hold true about what they want to do with the DC universe, I think they've learned that. You know what? Our best things are like Flash and stuff that has fun with what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, Legends doesn't do great, but people talk about Legends a lot, and sometimes that's even more valuable. Than actual eyeball.
I mean, at least with that CW shit, this stuff, they don't take themselves that seriously.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. You don't want to take yourself too seriously, But yeah, I mean, that's my big theory. That's my grand unified theory of what the DC universe is trying to do. I was hoping I could come away from Aquaman and saying, yes, and this was the perfect transition. They stuck the landing, they did the pirouette, and they said, ta-da! And you'll find out tomorrow if that's what I feel they did. Spoiler, I don't think they did that. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. I got to be careful. Got to keep him wanting more. And actually, like I said, there's a lot of great things about Aquaman. So, you know what? And honestly, I would say go see Aquaman if you want to see Aquaman. This would be a fun film to do. I actually am most intrigued by Alita Battle Angel. Did you see that trailer?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a good film.
Oh yeah.
It's based on a video game, right?
I think so. I'm not too familiar myself.
Nowadays we base things on video games. Pac-Man the movie coming soon. Can we eat all the? Pong's cutthroat. So, trust me. There's so much story between Paddle 1 and Paddle 2 and the ball that connects them. There's so much story there. But
the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah. Battle Angel looked really nice, and it really seems to. Honestly, I have no idea what it is, but I'm just gonna go out. I'm just gonna I saw a trailer, so here's clearly what the story is, and it's like, super advanced AI weapon bot, but this one thinks and wants to know motivation.
Yeah.
And it was defeated because it didn't have motivation to defeat someone. But now it's been with humans. Now it wants to protect people. So now it has motivations. Now it wants to be a hero.
It's basically the artificial character striving to become human and not overcome its programming. I'm not your weapon.
Well, yeah, but within that, I feel like there's this idea. This is my grand unified theory of intellect: is that all creatures, as they gain awareness, have like 4 questions they ask. The first is what, which is what is that? The second question, actually, it'd be 3 questions. It's where, what, where's something, what is something, how is something, and then the 4th question is why is something. And why is where you find purpose. And as far as we know, this may not be true, but as far as we know, only humans ask the question why. And you can look this up, because you can look at all the words that Coco the gorilla knew. None of them were why.
Oh.
She couldn't comprehend the concept to ask, hey, guys, why am I in the cage? Never even struggled to ask, wait, is there a reason I'm in the cage? I know this is my cage and I live in the cage, but never struck her that, oh, wait, maybe there's a reason, maybe I should ask why, maybe I should argue a point beyond that. So that's the thing that separates humanity from other things is the question of why. And for an AI, that why question is very important because because a lot of things will get very good with the where's that, what's that, how's that, and everyone will say, oh, look how smart it is. It can ask where that thing is, it can ask what that thing is, it can ask how does that thing work, and it can build on from there. But when you get those are the robots that'll destroy humanity, by the way. Those ones that are really good at figuring things out but never actually understand the purpose because they only have the rudimentary program. Why is what lets you go beyond your programming. And we ask why, suddenly you have motivation, and that's why you do that. So that's my theory of both animal and robotic intelligence, and copyright 2018, 12/22, 2018. There we go. Okay, it's legal now. I own it. Speaking of things that are copyrighted, did you hear that the new Lion King has some issues going on because some people are not happy about Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I saw something you said it's trademarked now or something.
Well, as Disney does with all things, they have trademarked the phrase Hakuna Matata. But Hakuna Matata, which is sort of like trademarking "Have a nice day," or "Good morning," or "Don't let the turkeys get you down." It's a very common phrase, and they had trademarked it apparently, and Disney lawyers being unable to ask the question of why, but simply where, what, and how, and attacking anything. This gained a lot of traction because it is a common phrase in Swahili, and when you copyright when you try to copyright or trademark a common phrase, people who use that common phrase a lot get upset, as you might imagine. And there was no small amount of controversy with the idea of, as is constantly an issue, of cultural appropriation. And that's the thing. It's like, this is actually the best definition of cultural appropriation I've ever found. Because it's not the idea that, oh, you're using this phrase that's common to some other culture that's not your own. It's, you're using this phrase and now declaring it something that you own, not something that belongs to the other culture, and thereby that culture has a right to.
Perhaps making money off it, yeah.
Well, definitely making money off of it. So my hope is that Disney has realized the error of their ways, which they have in the past. Because they've gone through this before a few times with Coco and several other things where they've go, okay, we're being dumb.
Do you think maybe they're just doing that for like a legal thing where it's like, 99% of the time they're not going to care if anyone uses it, but if like somebody tries to use it in their TV show or their movie or whatever every 5 seconds, they're going to be like, oh, no, you're not making money off ours, or, well, even though it's not their thing, but.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. First off, it's not their thing.
Yeah.
And second off, Disney lawyers have shut down, not non-profit daycares because someone drew Mickey Mouse on the walls. Okay, so yeah, Disney lawyers are straight from Tony Stark's legal department, and they are not to be trusted or tolerated in this kind of situation.
Yeah, but I mean, like in cases like that, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but it's like it's like with the Mickey Mouse on the wall, you don't know who's using your brand and stuff, because it's like, well, one, Disney's not making money off it too, but two, what happens at that daycare if they're like beating children at that daycare? You don't want your mascot on the walls of like the evening news of like, oh, you know, while they're talking about this daycare where they beat children and stuff.
Well, yes. Although, you know, and again, you know, you can be proactive about that kind of thing, I suppose, but it's much worse press that every time someone paints a Mickey Mouse on a wall that you get a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Disney, basically, and this is something in the fan age that Disney and every other company has been trying to deal with, which is how do you deal with fan art? You know, and everybody out there who is a fan who knows, oh yeah, my favorite fan site, and Little will tell us about this, I'm sure, about how some fan site, you know, they get shut down. You know, adult sites that likewise like to homage popular cultural items will get shut down for these kinds of things. So, yeah, I mean, I understand, and one can argue that, well, Disney wants to preserve its brand, but nobody thinks that's Disney doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to something like Hakuna Matata, which is literally just something people say in Swahili, you don't have the right to say, well, no, we're the only ones who get to say that. Especially if you're not Swahili. Especially since it's arguable that you can't really copyright it since it existed long before you. Now, if they want to copyright the music, if they want to copyright the song Hakuna Matata, is the song Hakuna Matata, we can say that under fair use, because I only did like 4 notes. If you want to say that's copywritten, fine. No one's going to argue that that's copywritten and that's a trademark and that's yours, Disney. But if you want to say Hakuna Matata is likewise trademarked, everyone's going to yell at you, especially the people who say Hakuna Matata all the time because it's their freaking language.
I wonder do you know if there's any specifics behind it? If like maybe saying it isn't copyrighted, but if you try to sing it,
well, the
like
phrase
they do in the
copyrighted.
movie. Yeah. Okay.
No, the phrase. So it's like remember what's her name? Paris Hilton tried to trademark the phrase "it's hot" or "that's hot" because she says it a lot. So that's hot, and then she wanted to trademark it as that's her phrase, I think she could trademark it, but she can't copyright it because trademark it. It's about how she says it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between a trademark and a copyright.
If you say it with vocal fry, it's hers. Yeah.
Well, if you say it like her to invoke her, it's the same way that the guy who does "Let's Get Ready to Rumble," was able to say that is my trademark, and no one can say "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" but me because that is my thing. You know, of course, recently Alfonso Ribeiro, and I don't know if this was meant as a gag or not. I just saw this, but he made some comment about, hey, you know, he's owed residuals from Fortnite because that's my dance they're doing.
They're doing the Carlton,
Yeah. So,
yeah, but would that? I mean, I didn't know if that was a gag too or not. Because it's like, if anyone was owed money, would it be him or would it be like the producers of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Well, that's why I think it was a gag. Because, I mean, I'm sure as an artist, because Alfonso Ribeiro is a dancer. For those who don't remember, he got his big break doing the Pepsi commercial with Michael Jackson after he got set on fire. And he is a dancer, and so he is an artist in that right. But he definitely created the dance of the Carlton. But I'm sure that a lot of people, you know, maybe try to claim ownership of that dance too. But I don't think it was. And like I said, I think it was that in a word. I think he said it as a gag, just to remind people that, hey, you know, they're all doing the Carlton. That was my thing. I was doing the Carlton way before it was cool. And not for nothing, it's probably going to be a ad campaign that it was probably. I mean, if I want to get really cynical, I will wager in like 3 or 4 weeks we're going to see the ads of Fortnite and they're dancing, and it's not unusual to be loved by anyone, and it's going to be Alfonso Ribeiro saying, "Yep, I was doing this before it was cool," because Fortnite's a thing now. I mean, it surprises me, but yeah, the kids today, they love the Fortnites. I don't know. Well, like I always say, it's where my kid meets his friends to play. You know, And no one's falling off the jungle gym there, so it's great. It's like, anyway, what else was on my list?
The Gotham trailer.
Oh, the Gotham trailer. Yeah, okay. I am so excited about the final season of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad-sided, is what I'll say, because I am sad it's ending.
And it's only 12 episodes this season.
Yeah, it's a short bingeable episode. It's ready. It's preparing itself for the great beyond of streaming television.
Well, at least we got 12. Originally, they were only going to go 10 episodes, but then if they did 2 more, it gets them to episode 100. That'll be the last episode 100. So
yeah, well, there you go. And who knows? Maybe next year it's like, well, yeah, that was great, but now we're going to do Dark Knight, the series.
Well, no, they already did. I mean, it's another network, but they're doing that Alfred show.
Yeah.
I forget. But it so goes back even further. I'm like...
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, I'm all for an Alfred show. I'll tell you what, I'm actually really excited about, just completely out of left field. I'm excited about Holmes and Watson.
That movie? Yeah, that looks funny.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. I've never liked any of the Will Ferrell and
was that John C. Reilly?
John C. Reilly. I've never liked the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly comedies before, because I always felt they were punching down.
Yeah.
It was always about, look at this group of people, NASCAR drivers, NASCAR fans, guys who live with their parents at too old of an age, and it's always like, haha, look at these idiots, and look how let's make fun of them. But Holmes and Watson is about people who are, of course, very privileged, very much of the elites of their society, and they're also idiots. And so it's not punching down. So I think I'll actually be able to enjoy Holmes and Watson, so I'm very excited. Alfred, I don't know.
It's on some cable. Is it Epix? EPIX?
It's on something. Who knows? All I know is I hope they will answer that question as he's sitting there in some blood-soaked jungle. Says, after this, the only thing I really want to do is iron a rich man's underwear.
I know, I was going to say, it's basically James Bond. Alfred is James Bond before I think he even goes to work for the Wayne, so it's like you could have basically done this with like any character. It's like, what does this have to do with Batman at this point?
Well, because they're gonna show a friendship. You know what they're gonna do? It's gonna be, here's the basic story. It's been done 1 billion times. This person saves this millionaire. The millionaire hires him to be with him forever. And that's the story. And then that's that story.
I don't know. I always have problems with like prequels, but it's like they want to cash in on the Batman name on TV, but they don't want to go full Batman.
Because they're afraid to go full Batman.
Never go full Batman.
Well, you know what? I mean, not for nothing. I think that everyone was mad at Batfleck for that. It's like Batfleck went full Batman. Because you know what? If you're Batman, that's kind of where it leads. He's still not killing anyone. He's just branding people. Yeah, branding people saying, here, kill him. Well, he's branding people as being captured. Really, all he's actually branding them is saying, this guy was captured by the Batman. And since Batman goes after the worst of the worst, this guy's the worst of the worst. Yeah, but I think it was kind of like... this is how the movie was written. I think it was kind of like him saying, oh, this guy gave me information about you. That's how I caught you. He's making all the criminals paranoid, so they just started killing each other. Oh, well, I guess so. I don't know. I would think... Personally, I don't know how any criminal lets Joker continue. Well, that's why they keep on sending him to Arkham, because honestly, if they sent Joker to general population, he'd be dead in a week. Yeah, I don't know how anybody works. Because somebody's grandma got freaking Joker gassed. I don't know. Oh, yeah, my grandma, she smiles a lot, thanks to you. Shank, 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 shank. I don't know how anyone works for the Joker, because he gets in a bad mood, he kills off henchmen, because even in the comics sometimes they'll do that joke, like, if people are like working for Two-Face or Penguin or Riddler or Mr. Freeze, that's always the line most of the time. It's like, well, it's better than working for the Joker. At least here, if I do a good job, I won't get killed. Joker, he could just kill you. Even if you're the perfect employee, Joker might kill you if he's having a bad day. Yeah, and Penguin has dental. That's always the biggest thing for henchmen is getting good dental because you get your teeth knocked out a lot.
Yeah.
So, which actually works out great for the Joker because you just have to do, replacements. It's not even that expensive because all the major work's been done by Batman. So you actually make it good, and Mr. Freeze's very big about healthcare, the like.
But I mean, yeah, this Gotham trailer looks great, but I don't know. I guess it's just like the whole problem I have with this series, which I guess you're supposed to suspend disbelief. But even in this trailer, he's running around fighting guys with no mask on or anything. So it's like by the time he gets to Batman, it's going to be like, Penguin. Oh, hey, Bruce. Is it time for my weekly meeting?
Well, you know what? I think that, I guess to me, here's the thing, and this is sort of what I kind of felt about the Titans trailer. It's like, okay, yeah, everyone knows Bruce Wayne's Batman. This isn't really a secret.
That would be fine with me, but they don't play it like that. No one knows he's Batman. But I mean, in Gotham, they do stuff different than than the comics. Yeah. But still, it's like, oh, hey, Bruce. Well, it's like, how's Batman going to be intimidating to all these criminals when, Penguin and everyone's like, oh, hey, I remember your first kiss. Yeah. And
the answer is the same way they deal with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing. Everyone knows Penguin used to be freaking Fish's umbrella boy.
True, but I mean, again,
everyone knows
that makes him a criminal who rose from the bottom up. Fine, but it's
yeah, and Bruce is a guy who beats criminals up who rose from the bottom up.
Exactly. That's my point.
Knowing that Bruce Wayne is Batman doesn't make his punching you any less effective.
No, but I'm just saying, they always want to play it up like, oh, no one knows he's Bruce Wayne's Batman. What's like, at least in this universe, everyone should know. Yeah. He's in the middle of no man's land fighting guys.
I think, and like, this is what I was saying. Like, if you watch the Titans trailer, when they're going into the Wayne Manor and they got the army there and they're blowing everything up, everyone knew. It's just like, okay, you know what, Batman's kind of, we let him go this far because, quite frankly, if someone accidentally murders the Joker, I don't think a lot of GCPD are going to worry about it. It's sort of to go back to the Iron Fist, which I still haven't finished, but, around episode 5, when Misty goes to talk to the Chinatown chief detective, he's like, yeah, you mean the guy who's killing all the triads? Yeah, we'll get right on that. It's like, yeah, if he stops killing triads, we'll definitely, look into this. But right now, and I think from GCPD's point of view, it's like, yeah, we'll get right on that Batman issue as soon as we, and Marvel's done the same thing where they've done they've had the Punisher task force, and it's like one guy in the basement, it's like, I'm on the Punisher task force. Yeah. Here's who Punisher is. He doesn't even have a secret identity. Yep, he kills people, but it's nobody that anyone really is that sad when he kills them.
Yeah.
When you kill someone that people get sad about, then all of a sudden it's an issue.
And then in this trailer, I mean, like I said, it all looks cool, but then like they introduce Bane. It's like, okay, so if he meets Bane as a kid, by the time Bane comes to break his back, he should be like, oh yeah, I have 6 ways to defeat you without breaking a sweat.
No, except that this Bruce Wayne actually is human.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing. It's like, 6 ways to defeat Bane. It's like, well, actually, there's one way to defeat Bane. It's called a gun.
Yeah. But I mean, even like in the comics when they introduced him, he was like the new guy working behind the scenes. He freed everyone in Arkham. Bruce Wayne was like in the middle of like a emotional and physical breakdown as it is, but then he like let the Joker and everyone else loose on the street. So Batman's trying to round everyone up while he's like in the middle of this breakdown. And then by the time he's like at his end, Bane's like, okay, I'll come in and just snap you.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, that was Bane's. That was the whole shtick of Bane, was he was planning how to beat Batman.
It was that era. They created guys to break him, like, Doom. Yeah. They introduced Doomsday to kill Superman. They introduced Bane to break Batman.
Yeah, well, because you gotta tear it down to build it back up.
It's not the guys who've been working years to take these guys down. It's just the new guys come in and just like, let me take you out for a year.
Well, because, and not for nothing, that makes sense when you think about it, because, you're doing something to try and defeat a guy, you're never going to think of the thing you never thought of. Yeah. It's like when they say, oh, well, why didn't you just do this? Because oh, do that, of course, you know. It's like, well, gee, Lex, why don't you just make the bullets out of kryptonite? It's like, you know, it's like if you don't think of it yourself, you're not going to think of it. So, although that leads me to something I did want to talk about, which is, man, I'm working on this blog post about, you know, why I would rather be a cow than a Skrull. And one of the I'm going to give a little teaser. You know, because that's what they say. We'd rather be anything but a Skrull. And you know what? There's a reason for that. And I want people to understand why being a Skrull is the worst thing you could ever possibly be. And why no Skrull wants to be a Skrull. And why you'd rather be a cow than a Skrull. But one of the things I wanted to touch, what I'm going to touch on, and this is just fan theory, although I think it actually is supported by the comics. So the whole thing about, Reed Richards just turned Skrulls into cows and left them in the field, and the cows got eaten, and they gave milk, and all this kind of stuff. But that's actually not true. Because actually, in Burns' annual, and I looked this up, Reed Richards makes the point. He's like, well, you know, I never thought that the Skrulls could actually lactate. But I'm guessing that other cows came and interacted with them, meaning the Skrulls got busy with other cows and impregnated those other cows, because let's not forget, those are all male Skrulls that he turned into cows. And so they're presenting as female cows. The other female cows come in, and all of a sudden, although the Skrulls don't know they're Skrulls, they're still Skrulls. Suddenly, maybe they let nature take its course, and then these little half-Skrull cows...
Who can give milk, yeah.
Who can give milk, who can lactate, and who can be eaten as hamburgers, get into the food supply. And that's how that happens.
And again, the original Skrull cows, even if they couldn't lactate, you could still kill them and make them into beef patties, you know.
Yes, but this is my thing. I don't think Reed Richards is that stupid. I think that basically, Reed Richards owns land in upstate New York. He owns a little. In fact, I would wager there's at some point some writer should actually write this. However, gets right the Fantastic Four, it will be. Would they go to the farm, and you'll see the 3 cows and the duck. That, you know, and there's some nice old couple that takes care of the 3 cows. Yeah, you know, they don't produce any milk, but we're here. Try to keep those, you know, thanks for putting that new fence. Those other cows from the other pasture kept on coming in here. Yeah, we learned that lesson, Reed says, you know. But that's the thing, I don't think Reed is that too. I think was a privately owned farm that he had to put the cows on, because otherwise, it's not like Reed Richards doesn't know what happens to cows.
Yeah.
You know,
private property, no trespassing. Yeah.
That's part of my grand theory of redemption. I'm actually going to try and redeem Reed Richards in this, because I'm going to say it makes sense if you think about it.
You know what I want in the Captain Marvel movie. I hope they have some kind of like call out to this cow thing, because you know, like she's hunting Skrulls and she's walking through a cow field, and then all of a sudden one of them morphs into a Skrull. We need some kind of cow reference.
We do need Skrull cow references, yes. Anyway. Yeah, so that's a lot. You want to talk comic books?
Sure. I mean, we kind of already started. I mean, we mentioned Thor, I do know.
Yeah, we mentioned Thor. This was great.
Oh, Captain America, yeah.
Captain of Nothing. Oh my gosh.
Captain America 6, yeah. Did you see where they're going with that?
Oh, well, obviously, this lady's going to get her freaking head on a pike.
Well,
I don't know what she's thinking.
But I mean,
it's like,
end of the issue. Spoiler alerts. Cap's kind of like prime suspect in the murder of Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Oh, although that makes for an interesting question. Because that was one thing I was thinking about. Immortal Hulk is all immortal and whatnot.
Oh yeah, but I mean, supposedly before Banner died, that one of those smart Hulks took away all everyone else's Gamma Hulk powers. So
except, and this is the thing, and we haven't gotten the next issue of Immortal Hulk yet. But this implication in the new Immortal Hulk is that because the reason all those people could become Gamma Hulks was because they were at the test site. That anyone who was at the test site could become a Hulk, which actually means all these main characters and like 50 freaking
guard
soldiers.
Yeah.
But the implication is that it's not the gamma radiation as we have thought, but that the gamma radiation has opened this other door, the same door that was opened by Sasquatch. And that once that door is opened, it doesn't actually close. Meaning that even though the Gamma's been taken out of Sasquatch, we haven't seen the last of Sasquatch. And that any of these characters could come back because there is this quasi-mystical force of an open green door that each one of them is a tie to. So
this probably isn't going to happen, but what if Ross actually did die in Captain America, and what if we get like a Hulk Ross battle in hell?
Oh, well, entirely possible.
I mean, Ross could be like all souped up with like some kind of demonic power or something.
Well, I mean, as if he wasn't always. But, but this is what, like I said, this lady who brought back Lucan and the Red Skull, when Rasputin told her, he's not going to come back alone. You do this, you're actually going to be causing the exact thing you're complaining about. Like, yes, but I miss my husband. He's a man of history. It's like, yeah, okay, lady. And like for Rasputin to go along with that, it's like, yeah.
And the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. We did need an excuse to bring the Red Skull back somehow. Yeah. Hydra Cap killed the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was just one of dozens.
Well, it was like a clone thing, but still. But then the original Skull had been dead longer than that. So it's like, yeah, we need it.
Yeah, and it's like that skull that comes back isn't going to be this skull, because this was the original Red Skull that came back. This is the original skull, not the Red Skull without 40 years of history, because this was a Red Skull, because the one that Cap killed was a Red Skull that had the brain tapes from the 1940s.
Yeah, but I thought the one in Lucan was the OG Skrull, the original Red Skull.
That's the original Red Skull. Yeah. So that's the Red Skull we got back.
Survived World War II, eventually got into a clone body of Captain America.
Exactly. This is Johann. This is what do you call himself? No, Del Rusk. This is Del Rusk.
Yes.
This is Del Rusk, and good to have Del Rusk back. But it's just such a ridiculous idea that his wife, who looks way too much like Sharon Carter, by the way, I don't know if that is an intentional choice or just that the artist doesn't have a lot of other options to draw this woman. You could at least have made her a redhead. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, what is that intention? I mean, this is Ta-Nehisi Coates. Is that going to be intentional too? Is Captain America not going to be as willing to, like, you can maybe let her get away at the end because she looks kind of like Sharon is kind of subconsciously affecting him.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly we know he's fooled by Bucky, so
exactly.
But I mean, like, because to me, when I was looking at this, it's like, wait, did she kill Lucan? When they give the flash about who killed him, it's like, no, that was Sharon Carter who killed him. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not impressed with her motivations as a supervillain. I'm super not impressed. Although maybe she's got some third level plan she's working. Maybe it's not just Lucan, but that it's like, no, I need a white man to say these words that need to be said.
I need a figurehead. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's who you are, baby. When I take over the world, when I get to play the Grieving Widow in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. But this Ta-Nehisi Coates guy, that guy can write a book. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's heard of him. Ta-Nehisi Coates, he's actually a pretty good writer. So, yeah, probably one of my favorite books this week.
But before we get to the next one, what about the tribute to Stan Lee in the beginning of all these Marvel books this week?
Yeah,
I mean, first 2 pages of every book, pure black.
Yeah, black.
Then you turn another black page, and the caricature of Stan Lee. Yeah.
Let me see if I can give you why I don't like the black covers here. 1 second. Because if you get wet fingers, you leave fingerprints on
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, see that? Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like the black covers. It's like, oh, well, that's no longer in mint condition.
It doesn't even have to be wet. It seems like if you touch it for too long or with too much pressure, it kind of almost does that too. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, what I'll say is, like, here's what it is. Like, if me holding this comic book at some point in history will make it more valuable, then there you go. So it's like, if they had given this book to Stan Lee before he died, which would have been really weird and ironic and scary.
Yeah. And a lot
of money.
Yeah, and a lot of these had the black cover on the back with no ad, but like either the inside of the back cover or like on this Spider-Geddon, it's on the back cover. Stan's soapbox, yeah.
Stan's soapbox, yep.
Oh, is that the first one?
I assume it's his first. I assume it is.
Okay, I thought maybe they just found one with that was like, they're like, oh, this was. Like...
It's the same one it's the same one in every book.
Yeah, it's the same
they're going to pick one. I mean, maybe they just hoped that was the best one. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell.
I just didn't know if maybe they were like, if Stan could have out of all these soapboxes, what one like best like sums up his life or like would be a good eulogy? The man was eulogizing himself.
Yeah. Well, it was a good thing, and it was a good tribute to Stan Lee. It was great words from Stan. It basically, the man was here's what I'll tell you. The man was a great writer of witty anecdotes. So you're going to find a lot of great things where he has said, here's what it is, heroes. And he's going to say something that makes you feel like, man, I want to be Spider-Man. But speaking of wanting to be Spider-Man and not wanting to be the Black Panther, Marvel Knights was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, yeah.
He does not want to be king. He is the anti-Lion King. He can really wait to be king.
But is that really his deep down thought, or is whatever's affected the world planted that in his head?
No, I think he is making the conscious choice.
Okay.
I think that's the implication of this issue, because we see, first off, within this whole thing, how awesome is it to get the Sentry call back?
Yes!
I was thinking something, remember when they made everyone forget? I'm surprised they didn't do that with Peter Parker at some point. But I love that they're doing the heavily pixelated artwork in this, so it looks like it's like, however they printed comic books back in the day, 4-color printing.
Yes.
To make it look like 4-color printing. I'm a little surprised that Wakandan embassy... Oh my gosh, I missed that the first time. Did you see who stole the machine?
No.
Look at the truck. Look at the truck that hits the Wakandan.
Oh, Fisk, yeah. I did see it, yeah. Fisk.
Yeah, Fisk Concrete. Finest concrete in the world, my friend. I'm a little surprised that that's what it takes to steal this machine from Black Panther, but okay. And then, man, Cap's got it rough in this world.
Oh, yeah, in the wheelchair. Well, yeah, I guess this is a world where he didn't go in the ice and he just aged.
Something like that. Well, yeah, and Sam, too, looks pretty aged, too. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Because Sam Wilson's the guy pushing him. So they're all war buddies. So the world that they've been created for them is very different, it appears. And we get our little Donovan reference. I like that with...
oh, yeah, Big Ben Donovan.
Is Ben Donovan in the comics, or is he just from the Netflix universe?
I'm trying to remember. I thought he got mentioned at least once or twice in a Daredevil, maybe, but...
Okay. Well, now the Netflix has certainly raised his... Oh, look, he's got my mustache. I like Ben Donovan in this. This is great, and Black Panther is fantastic. I mean, this is just a good book too. I mean, really, there's some good books out there. This is not for nothing. This is one thing you got to say about Marvel is that they really do produce a lot of very good books. Not all their books are really good, but the books that they do that are really good are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah. I looked this up. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh no, maybe that's the Netflix. I know it was saying he was the lawyer for everybody. But yeah, he first appeared in Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 14. So yeah, he's been around for a while.
Okay, well that's good then. But here's what's interesting about this. Because in the last issue, didn't we have that Doom was the mastermind behind everything?
Well, what was that?
Doom?
Was that issue 1 or something? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, who do you think's behind this? Because it looks like Fisk is stealing the machine, but yeah, at the end of issue 1, Fisk was battling the Doom, so I don't know.
Well, it makes me think that possibly what we're looking at here is that, Fisk got the machine, Doom took it from him, but Fisk is now trying to unlock its secrets.
Maybe.
So I'm guessing that's what we're looking at. And of course, that's going to be, as always, our superheroes are doing. Hey, did you get your Marvel Comics calendar for 2019?
You know what? I actually forgot it at the store. I'll probably get it next week. But yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Because we use that every year. Yeah, we hang that up on the refrigerator every year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got a lot of ads for new things.
Oh yeah,
Avengers 1, No Road Home, coming soon to a theater near you. Fantastic Four, number 6, Doom is back. That disappoints me.
Oh, but
there we go. Oh, Marvel says our January. And there's my birthday. You are all free to take the Monday off. I give you permission. The Monday after my birthday.
The 21st.
Yes. We got some other guy's name on it, but Martin Luther King Jr. He's pretty cool too. He's cool too.
But wait a second. You had to have read Spider-Geddon number 5, right?
I gave it a passing glance, yes. Spider-Geddon number 5.
Well, that wasn't it. Come on.
Yeah, no, I read the whole thing. And of course, it was all... Of course, Otto's not evil anymore. Or that evil.
Well, we got to set up Superior Spider-Man number 1.
Yeah, but it was brilliant what they did with that. With because, we'll have him absorb you. But you, of course, your mind isn't just your mind, is it? It's dying and dying and dying and dying and dying. And Otto, of course, figures out how to make everybody freaking happy.
Yeah, he basically brings Ben Reilly back again, like Miles Warren kept doing over and over, but this reset him, so now he's all right, I guess.
Now he's not all crumbling and
Miles Morales got the Captain Universe powers.
And Miles Morales told the Enigma Force off, which I loved. I love that. I love that. And I love that Peter Parker was so much the guest star in the book.
Yeah, I think they said they wanted a new miniseries where it wasn't 616 Peter Parker so much in it. It was more Miles Morales, Otto Octavius, all the other everyone else. Yeah,
which not for nothing makes the point that to Pravat Pakar, the last one is what makes you think you're the duplicate of him? He's the duplicate of you. It's every Spider-Man is a Spider-Man, even the Spider-Women. I like that.
He's Peter Parker. He's Peter Parker 616, who says he's the original. He's not like he's Earth 1 Peter Parker.
Yeah, there's not an Earth 1. There is an Earth. In fact, I think Earth 1 was Loom World. And Inheritors took it over. I think they actually established that. But I like that Spider-Man adopts all the Inheritors.
Yes.
And that they actually normally wouldn't be freaking psychic vampires, except their father turned them into psychic vampires. And I guess they just leave the other guy in his Solus gem, right? I guess that's the implication of that.
I think so, yeah. All the children returned into babies, and they left Solus in the gem, yeah.
Yeah, and they get the Sword Vigor. I love the Sword Vigor. Wielded by Captain Universe Miles Morales.
But I like that they actually had a reason why Peter Parker wasn't there. Is the last couple issues of Spectacular Spider-Man, he's been fighting Morlun with the help of J. Jonah Jameson.
And they captured him.
Yeah.
But they left him. It's so what? He's just going to let everything else go away?
They even said they're we're going to have to DH him too.
Well, they say that. Well, they can't. Well, they can't actually DH him. They have to kill him, and then. Really, honestly, not for nothing, they actually killed them all.
Yeah, they brought them back and cloned baby bodies. Yeah.
Well, they didn't bring them back. They just cloned baby bodies.
Yeah.
They killed these people because it's not like they rewrote their memories onto these. It's not like these are super intelligent babies that remember their past. No, these are just the babies.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to just kill them and be done with it.
No, they killed them, Phil.
I know, but they didn't want to kill them.
You know what? With your little Pablomy, we don't want to kill people thing. Okay, how about this? How about we just clone brand new ones, and then we can kill this version? They basically did the old transporter gag with them. Where we destroyed this version, but we built a new version right here. And this version we're going to make babies so you can feel, they're just babies! Yeah, baby Hitlers. That's what I say. Oh. Yeah, so honestly, aside from
and then they're bringing back MC2 Peter Parker?
Apparently, MC2 Peter Parker is now a zombie. Because that's going to end well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, this will be MC2 Peter Parker. I wonder if his leg's going to grow back.
What if he grows a bunch of legs?
Who knows? Who knows in this universe? But hey, all I hope is maybe we'll get actually a freaking Spider-Woman series set in the MC2.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be lovely? We can get Stinger. We can get, the whole gang back. American Dream. With their alternate universe shield.
I just wonder what Spider books we're getting, because, they did like a three issue Spider-Gwen's Ghost Spider series, but coming out of this, the only thing besides Peter Parker that they've, that we know is official was there's a Miles Morales book and there's a Superior Spider-Man book.
Yeah, well, those are their two best ones, I guess. I guess would be their argument. Miles Morales coming off a hit movie.
I was going to say, after the movie, definitely.
Not for nothing, I kind of felt like this was meant to be focused on Miles because Miles is the star of the film.
Yeah, but I figured they'd come out strong with another Spider-Gwen book too, since she's in that movie also.
Yeah, she's in. What? There isn't a new Ghost Spider book coming out?
I'll have to check if they said anything.
Because they even mentioned in the book about, I like that Ghost Spider.
Yeah, I know. They did those 3 issues, but I'll have to double check, see if it's coming back. But Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 4, January 9th.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yes, it's there. Yeah, Miles, Gwen, and Superior.
Yeah, all the best ones. It's, and not for nothing, they make the point that now Spider-Gwen is the only one that can travel between universes.
Yes,
which is totally from the movie now. Because who says hi to Miles at the end of the movie?
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, exactly. Spider-Gwen can travel between universes. Speaking of Gwens, did you read Gwenpool number 6? I'm sorry, West Coast Avengers?
Yes, I did.
Gwenpool and the West Coast Avengers? Yes. This was fun. This was good. I like... I'm actually... They're totally making me ship Gwenpool and Quentin Quire.
Yeah.
And I'm like... And honestly... I want, where is it? Where's the t-shirt I want? I'm trying to find it here. It's after they drain the water. Yes, right there.
What?
I want that t-shirt. Right there.
Wait, which
See that? Gwen and Quentin, right at the top.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
And she catches him, and he's got noseblood. She doesn't kiss him, because it's inappropriate, because he's unconscious, and there's noseblood all over his lips, but she's like, hey, And then, you've got to be kidding me with the land sharks, MODOK's land shark. And it's weird to me a bit, because it's like, okay, is this the same MODOK that was BRODOK in the previous episodes?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe. It would give a motivation for why he's here and part of this group, I guess, but...
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of, this is a very weird collection of villains. It's like MODOK, Satana, Madame Mask, and the Eel! And it's like, the Eel! Okay, And they're all like the inner circle. That's what's weird about it. It's like the Eel is in the inner circle. That's what's kind of like the weird aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was trying to figure out if the Eel was tangled with any of these people, because I know Madame Mask was had a big thing in when Kate Bishop had her own book. So
yeah. Well, I get that aspect of it.
Yeah,
it's just weird that the Eel's the inner circle. It's like, when you got Satana and MODOK and Madame Mask, who all 3 are top level villains, MODOK kind of gets to be a gag villain sometimes, but he is a straight up Captain America villain. MODOK shows up, you don't think this is a gag book necessarily, unless it's literally Gwenpool. And same with Satana, who's her brother, kind of in that weird anti-hero state anyway.
Yeah, but unless the Eel is the inner circle intern or something, they kind of let him say he's inner circle, but meanwhile he's the one to go get the coffee or whatever.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing. Is they're saying, okay, this is auditions. But everyone, so maybe are they all auditioning to be on Madame Mask's team? There's a lot of unanswered questions in this, maybe. I don't know. And of course, Novar is apparently a bad guy now.
Yeah.
Which, he started as a bad guy, he'll end as a bad guy.
Well, yeah, wasn't he working with the Dark Avengers too and stuff? So.
Well, he's a Kree. They're an alien race out to conquer the universe. He's not your friend,
Yeah, no, it's like, the first time we see the Skrulls, they're trying to conquer Earth.
Yeah, well, the Kree and the Skrulls. None of these guys these are not nice people.
Yeah.
You know, that someone who among them was nice doesn't make them nice people.
Oh, I don't want to forget this, but we were talking Spider-Man before. If you get a chance, read Amazing Spider-Man number 12.
Okay, I see the Scorpions in it.
Yeah, well, basically, Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson get captured, and basically the shadowy villain behind this is basically doing like a "This Is Your Life" with J. Jonah Jameson, and then it basically ends with, "And you betrayed us by saying Spider-Man's a hero now. What's wrong with you?"
And is the shadowy villain the Scorpion?
No. The Scorpion. I guess is just working for. I don't know if they really didn't reveal who's behind this, because I think. It might. I don't know if it was be Mysterio, because like even Spider-Man's like, oh, it looks like Mysterio. No, on the last page you get the big man.
Oh, the big man.
But he's all big.
The big man was the original employer of the Enforcers.
Yeah.
That was at the.
Oh, Frederick Foswell, or
no, you don't recall.
Yeah, no, Frederick Foswell, wasn't it?
Yeah, Foswell. That's what it was. I knew it was Foswell. Frederick Foswell, who worked at the Daily Bugle, was the original big man.
Yeah.
Who employed the Enforcers.
But again, it's a giant here, so I don't know if it's just a fake, because they even showed, like, it's the real Scorpion, but he's leading, like, a bunch of, like, everyone else, you know, Spider Slayers and Human Flies are, like, robots, because whoever's behind this is working with Arcade, so.
Yeah. Oh, Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for Gwenpool to call it Arcade in West Coast Avengers. It's like, wait a minute, this seems like the last time she faced Arcade. Although I think Arcade knows not to mess with Gwenpool, because she basically right away said, "Oh, this is Arcade." Okay,
yeah,
and just called them out. And did you happen to read Exiles?
No, not yet.
Okay, it's pretty good. I don't want to spoil it for you. We get like our dark version of all of our Exiles, so it's like Iron Lad if he actually did join up with Kane and became evil. X-23, or actually it's X-2/3. She's like a different version. That's the face-off against Wolvie. It's at the bottom end. We got a Gamma Serum that turned Steve Rogers into a Hulk during World War II.
Oh, geez.
And we've got Killmonger, who actually winds up to be Shuri. From the Old West universe after the King leaves, and then we've got a Thor that's been brought back.
Oh,
yes, but not Clone Thor. This is just but it's fun. It's fun.
What issue number is that?
That's Exiles number 11.
Oh, because I think didn't they say next issue is the last one?
Yeah, next one is the last one. Well, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, hey, they made it a full year.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I mean. At a certain point, you can't mourn for all the books that you lost. You know, you got to say, well, it's just the way of the world.
And like I said, and like I was telling, me and Lilith were talking one day, I think it seems like they're almost treating some of these series like TV seasons now. Like they don't like the number above a certain number until they like start renumbering.
Well, you know what it is here's the thing. They're maybe looking at comic books more nowadays, like, you know what? It doesn't have to be an ongoing series forever.
Yeah, no.
Maybe we're going to do 12 issues of a character you like, and then we'll do 12 other issues of another character you like. You know, and the people who are writing these, I mean, obviously every writer wants to write, 500 issues of something. Because they got to, they want to make sure their kids get through college. But in general...
They're writing for trades, yeah.
Well, not just writing for trades. It's just they want a job. They want... Cause, they get paid by the book, Even if they're giving residuals, now they get a lot more for as being an actor than actually getting your residuals. So you're much better off actually continuing to act than, until you get to this point. That's actually one of these weird things that was kind of bugging me in West Coast Avengers. I mean, actually completely non sequitur. Is Hawkeye deaf anymore? Sometimes he's deaf, sometimes he's not.
I'm trying to remember if he got in another accident, because, I mean, yeah, he in the 80s, they, like, made him deaf, but then, like, after Heroes, wasn't it after when Heroes Return, after Heroes Reborn, didn't they fix that along with, the Wasp was like a giant wasp? Didn't they fix a lot of that stuff?
Yeah, maybe they fixed it. I don't know. Because he's like getting the headache, but then he's also able to shoot things really good, so maybe that's the thing, is like, well, because he's partially deaf, the sonic vibrations didn't bother him as much. I don't know. Hey, we get the Domino versus Longshot.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty good. Unfortunately, Longshot didn't realize this was Domino's book.
Well, what's continued anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, and Longshot seemed like he was like, he said he was dying, so he was kind of like in and out of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that was actually the big reveal at this, because we think, he's being manipulated by Mojo the whole time. And then Domino says, Mojo's not here. It's all happening in your head. And it makes me wonder, there was a thing about Longshot recently. There was a Longshot either saves or destroys the Marvel Universe, where he stopped using his luck power because he found out that every time something good happened to him, something horrible happened to somebody else. And he just realized he couldn't morally justify doing it anymore, but maybe not using his luck power has sort of driven him mad. Because all that probability, because in essence, to take the ideas from, and hey, maybe I'll be right again, because, me and Kelly Thompson, we're kind of on the same wavelength. Not Kelly Thompson, freaking, why am I blanking on her name? Where's my credits page? You just leave me out there. Gail Simone.
Yeah.
Me and Gail Simone. We're kind of, I spotted what she was doing with the other guy there. I think that the idea will be that because Longshot stopped using his luck powers, he dammed the river of luck, but all that luck kept on wanting to flow through him.
And
it's sort of been building up on him, and it's kind of driven him mad. That's why he's dying. Because he tried to stop the luck, and it's like you can't just stop the probabilities. You've got to let the probabilities flow. And you don't have to be selfish in it. And this is the idea: you don't have to be selfish in it. You can let the luck flow to everybody.
But I looked on Google about is Hawkeye deaf. It was like one of the first things after I put is Hawkeye, and so a lot of people might have been confused. It says for a time he was 80% deaf due to an injury sustained while in Crossfire's captivity. That was like the 80s. But his hearing was restored during his rebirth on Franklin Richards' Counter-Earth. He was again deafened by the clown who jammed Hawkeye's own arrows into both of Hawkeye's ears, causing damage to the middle and inner ears.
So he's officially deaf again?
Yes.
At least partially. Okay. So that would explain why, even though he has a bit of a headache, it's not as bad as everybody else's.
Yes.
And that's why he can still shoot with deadly accuracy.
Yes.
Because that's the thing, you gotta have that deadly accuracy. That superhuman accuracy, just like Green Arrow. Okay, so that's that. I mean, that was Domino. That was great. Domino was great. It was just a great week for books. I don't think I read a book that I wasn't like, wow, I really enjoyed this book. There's no book that I was like reading just to get through it. I didn't read the 2 Infinity Wars yet. Although, and like I said, you know why I picked this one up? Because it had the little 4 villains on it.
Okay.
I don't even know who the 4 villain is supposed to be. But, I like that. Here, 1 second. Go to commercial, Phil.
Okay.
Hey, Woody. Yeah, I'm home. You can bring the kids down whenever you're ready.
This is one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're proud members of the Collective, and you're listening to fellow collectives, the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I don't know if you can hear me talking to my father-in-law on that, too.
Maybe, but no, I just, it was I would have, if I'd been quicker, I would have muted you, but that's all right.
That's fine. I don't know how long these things are going to be either, But, but we got, like, what's his name? Destroyers, like, backstory and stuff like that. I haven't read it yet. This is Infinity Wars 1, variant edition, Fallen Guardian. Because as you will recall, the Destroyer exists to fight Thanos.
Yes.
And Art Douglas is his name. He's a saxophonist, apparently. But what I loved about this is he gets his family back and all this kind of stuff. And then at the end, look who he's fighting.
Thanos. In the Thanos copter.
Whose is that?
In the Thanos copter.
Nothing funnier than a Thanos copter. Oh, I'm so mad there was no Thanos copter in Endgame, man. I'm sorry. How can you not have a Thanos copter?
I know.
How can you do anything? And then this was the actual message. I haven't read that either. Although I hear they've totally changed what the Infinity Stones are now or something. I don't know. Looking forward to it though. Did you read this one?
Yeah. They kind of saved those Infinity Warps.
Muted on me somehow.
Oh,
so.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. They kind of they save those Infinity Warp characters. I think they're going to exist. Their universe is going to exist in the Soul Gem now, so they can bring them back at any time.
Well, good. Well, that's good because honestly, we lost the Amalgam universe. I'm glad we didn't lose the Infinity Warp universe
because those characters. I forget, was it Adam Warlock or whoever was like, oh yeah, let's we're going to set all these people right, and they're like, no, we don't want to die, and they basically find a way to copy everyone so you can bring back the original characters, but you can keep those Infinity Warps characters.
Well, yeah, not for nothing. That's essentially what Doctor Strange Fate said.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a loving tribute to the Amalgam universe.
Yeah.
The Infinity Warp's concept was this loving tribute to the Amalgam universe. And Doctor Strange Fate said at that time, look, I do not want, you say we're not the real universe, but, to heck with you, I have a whole life. I have all of my memories. I know who I am,
mm-hmm.
And it's kind of, they can't really say that's not the case,
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth. Oh, is there anything else we didn't cover yet this week, Phil?
No, I think we covered a lot. We might have gone a little long, but
yeah, we've definitely been doing this over an hour. So, and I like to keep these under a half hour, and I have failed as usual. But hey, lots of good comics out there, people. Go see Aquaman. Judge for yourself. That's what I'll say.
Check out our review.
Really liked Aquaman. I'll say that much. Maz really liked Aquaman, so. And that got me all excited to go see Aquaman. It's like, well, if Maz liked it, I should be positive too.
Have him send me his thoughts or send them to you or something so we can.
I will. You can actually write Maz too.
I do, but it doesn't seem like he sees it when I write him. I would write him all the time. I don't think he sees it.
Maz is a busy guy.
I know.
So I'm going to connect you guys. You're going to become fast friends.
Okay, that's fine. No, I message him on Messenger, but I never think he sees it. So.
By the way, you know what a friend of mine that from high school recently posted?
What?
My first sketch comedy.
I did see that. Yeah.
I was, goodness, I'm so happy about it. Like the original version of mine stuff. If you are my friend on Facebook, I encourage you to read those things and tell me how bad of a writer I was. Or say, these are actually kind of funny, Charlie. I kind of like your ideas. So.
Was that the script I saw? We might have to get a copy of that and do a live reading here or something. Yeah.
Well, he did send me photos of all of his pages.
Nice.
So and I probably have the original pages somewhere because I am a pack rat and I have lots of stuff, but they may have been damaged by mildew by this point. But I'm glad he sent me his script and I have it now. And yes, we can certainly do a live reading. If nothing else, we'll do a live reading of mine stuff, which has a big history with me. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, okay. So, Philip, if people would like to write to us, call us, especially if they're creators who would like to say, you think you can create, Charlie, let me show you how it's done. How can they do so?
If you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp. And again, send us your thoughts on any comics or TV or movies. You can always email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or quick, easiest way, voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
And, of course, you can write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our Maz and Paz once did. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back for, 2 more seasons? Gotham back for 1. Cloak and Dagger eventually? Sure, why not? It's all coming back. As soon as this Captain Marvel comes out, then we can start seeing... Well, no, we actually have to wait until the end game comes, and then we can start. But after the end game, we'll have the post game, and that's going to be that. And we can't wait to talk about Aquaman tomorrow, so scroll up to see the Aquaman thing. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for. Oh, if you're following me on Twitter, of course. Sorry. Phil said, I'm waiting to push a button. I'm not being allowed to push a button because you're rambling, Charlie. If you follow me on Twitter and you don't know where I am, just remember my name. Because I'm at CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
There you go. And police sirens. They're after me.
I know. That's why
I got to get out of here, folks, because they found out. They found out what I did. What did I do? Tune in tomorrow to learn. On Superconnectivity, part of the Capes and Lunatics podcast network, and Enough Said, and the Southgate Media Empire writ large. Please connect with us again. Superconnect with us. Oh, so many like levels of this group. It's like Capes and Lunatics, which, you know, spun off of Enough Said, which is part of the Southgate Media. It's a lot of people.
You're an important man, Charlie Esker.
Apparently, I don't know.
You're a star. You're a star, baby.
I hope so. I mean, I really hope that there are actually people who like my insane ramblings, who like every day on the bus say, "Oh yeah." I mean, honestly, you know, I guess it's to my credit that people don't call me out on my stupidness enough, because that's what would get me writing into Rob.